They are dangerous, even deadly.
Lawn darts stabbed through the skull of his 7-year-old daughter.
But with so many of the balls disintegrating and flying about the room, this test turned out to be rather dangerous.
Have you ever wondered how safe your household products really were in the 70s? The 1970s were a time of rapid innovation, but not all progress was without risk. From powerful cleaning agents to mysterious chemicals and personal care products, many household items from that era pose serious dangers. Join us as we explore the 20 dangerous household products of the 1970s. In the 1970s, glass baby bottles were common in households designed to hold milk or water for infants.
He doesn't know it, bless his little bottle nose.
Parents often heat these bottles in hot water before use. However, their fragility was a major drawback. Glass bottles were prone to breaking, which could be dangerous for both babies and caregivers. If a tired parent accidentally dropped a glass bottle, it could shatter and pose a risk of cuts and infections from the broken glass. In 1901, Dr. William A. Kennedy improved the safety of glass bottles by inventing the first one with a nipple, reducing the risk of glass shards. As the 20th century progressed, glass bottles began facing competition from other materials like rubber-coated metal, which were expensive and less popular. Despite their decline, glass bottles left a lasting legacy, highlighting a time when careful handling was crucial. Today, parents prefer plastic and silicone bottles for their durability and convenience. As glass baby bottles made way for more durable materials, did you know that other household items of the past also had their risks? Let's explore how electric blankets, once a fire hazard, evolved to meet safety standards. Electric blankets in the 1970s, particularly those early models, posed serious risk due to their tendency to overheat and cause fires.
Anybody, anywhere can just plug it in and stay nice and warm.
These blankets were built with outdated technology compared to what we have today. One major issue was that they lacked proper temperature controls. If left on for too long or folded incorrectly, they could get dangerously hot, leading to fires in many cases. Older models also had thermostats designed to shut off the blanket if it got too hot, but these often failed when the blanket was bunched up or folded, allowing temperatures to keep rising. According to Columbia University, nearly all electric blanket fires involved blankets that were at least 10 years old. These older blankets did not have the internal temperature controls needed to prevent overheating. Thankfully, modern electric blankets have much better insulation, precise temperature controls, and safety features. Teflon cookware from the 1970s, particularly the early models, had hidden dangers despite their non-stick appeal.
Even burned food won't stick to Teflon, so it's always easy to clean.
The issue began with the toxic fumes released by Teflon, a brand name for polytetrafluoroethylene, when heated to high temperatures, usually above 500 degrees Fahrenheit. These fumes included perfluorooctanoic acid, which could cause polymer fume fever and other health problems. Studies by DuPont revealed that Teflon pans released harmful particulates at 464 degrees Fahrenheit and emitted at least 6 toxic gases, including 2 known carcinogens and MFA, a chemical fatal at low doses when heated to 680 degrees Fahrenheit. Fortunately, safety improvements followed, with federal bans ensuring that Teflon and non-stick cookware produced after 2013 did not contain harmful PFOA. Europe had implemented a similar ban in 2008. Although modern non-stick pans are safer, it remains crucial to avoid overheating them to prevent any potential risks. Asbestos ceiling tiles were common in homes and schools during the 1970s, but carried hidden dangers. These tiles contained asbestos fibers, known for their fire-resistant and insulating qualities.
Easiest flooring to install, easiest flooring to care for.
However, as the tiles aged, were damaged, or disturbed during renovations, they could release harmful asbestos fibers into the air. Breathing in these fibers could lead to serious health issues such as lung cancer, mesothelioma, and asbestosis. Unfortunately, these diseases often take 20 years or more to show symptoms after exposure. Asbestos-containing ceiling tiles were not easily made into dust unless they were disturbed. Therefore, unnecessary sampling or disturbance could release asbestos particles. Proper handling and maintenance were crucial to ensure safety. If the tiles remained undamaged, they could be safely left in place. However, disturbing them posed significant risks. Over time, awareness and regulations improved, making asbestos removal and safe handling procedures essential. Jarts, also known as lawn darts, were a popular outdoor game in the 1980s. Players threw large metal-tipped darts at a target on the ground.
A 4-year-old North Dakota child was killed while playing in a sandbox next to the lawn dart game.
Although the game seemed harmless, jarts turned out to be quite dangerous. The metal tips were sharp and heavy, which meant they could cause serious injuries if they hit someone. Unfortunately, accidents did happen, leading to both injuries and fatalities among children and adults. Due to these safety concerns, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission decided to act. In December of 1988, they banned the sale of jarts in the U.S., and Canada quickly followed with a similar ban. This decision was made to prevent further harm from the dangerous darts. Today, lawn darts have changed significantly. Modern versions, designed with safety in mind, feature colorful plastic fins and rounded rubber tips. These updates ensure that people could enjoy outdoor games without risking their well-being. Jarts, once a favorite pastime, were banned due to their danger. But what about other everyday items that posed unexpected risks? Let's explore how children's pajamas, too, face serious safety issues. In the past, flammable children's pajamas were a serious safety issue. These pajamas, made from materials that could catch fire easily, put children at high risk of burn injuries.
I have gotten rid of all of my children's flame retardant pajamas.
Loose-fitting t-shirts and cotton blend clothes were especially dangerous because they could ignite quickly, causing nearly 300 burn injuries each year that required emergency room treatment. To tackle this problem, new regulations were introduced. Pajamas for children from size 9 months to size 14 had to be flame-resistant and self-extinguished if exposed to flames from items like candles or lighters. Manufacturers began focusing on safety by using flame-resistant fabrics and avoiding synthetic materials that could easily catch fire. Recently, there were recalls due to flammability risks. For example, Selfie Craft Company recalled children's pajamas made of 95% polyester and 5% elastane, which did not meet federal flammability standards. The company advised customers to destroy these pajamas and offered full refunds. Improved regulations and vigilance helped ensure that children's sleepwear was safer. Aquadots, a popular children's toy, turned out to be far more dangerous than anyone had expected.
He just started weaving like he was drunk or something, and he fell down.
These colorful beads were marketed as a creative arts and crafts activity where children could arrange them into designs and fuse them by spraying water. However, beneath their innocent appearance was a hidden danger. The coating on aquadots contained a chemical that, when ingested, transformed into the notorious date rape drug, GHB. While GHB can cause euphoria in low doses, higher amounts could lead to coma, seizures, and muscle weakness. This chemical change made aquadots a serious hazard. The recall was immediate. 4.2 million aquadots made in China were pulled from shelves in the U.S. and Australia. Scientists had uncovered the alarming truth about these seemingly harmless beads. In Australia, 3 children who swallowed large quantities were hospitalized. And in the U.S., reports showed severe effects, including a toddler slipping into a coma after ingesting several dozen beads. Kugel, introduced by Kraft in 1971, was a sweetened peanut butter spread available in 4 fun flavors: chocolate, cinnamon, banana, and vanilla.
This is Kugel peanut spread from Kraft. It not only tastes like peanuts, it comes in flavors.
You'll love Kugel, the Kraft Nutty Surprise.
Despite its appealing taste, Kugel faced health concerns. The ingredient list included partially hardened vegetable oils, sugar, cocoa processed with alkali, dextrose, salt, and non-fat dry milk, which raised questions about its healthiness. The spread's texture was unique. It didn't stick to the mouth, possibly due to a higher concentration of oil. Unfortunately, Kugel didn't become popular and was discontinued by the mid-1970s. Many people still remember the Kugel mascot, a quirky alien-like creature with 4 eyes, blue hair, and a body shaped like a peanut butter jar. In its earlier commercials, this jive-talking mascot danced to a catchy jingle. Later ads featured mothers endorsing Kugel, hoping to convince other moms to buy it for their children. Clackers, also known as click-clacks, knockers, kerbangers, and clankers, were immensely popular in the early 70s.
They tested 17 makes in all shapes, colors, and sizes. But with so many of the balls disintegrating and flying about the room, this test turned out to be rather dangerous for the technicians.
These toys featured two plastic spheres attached to a string. When swung up and down, they clacked against each other, making a loud noise. But they were more than just noisy playthings. The acrylic balls were heavy and durable, ideal for active play. However, their seemingly innocent design had hidden dangers. The balls could break, sending sharp pieces flying. Kids swinging these hard plastic spheres often got hurt. There were even reports of clacker balls starting fires when sunlight was focused through the clear plastic. In 1985, the Food and Drug Administration intervened. They warned against all clacker-type toys because of the risks of broken balls and flying fragments. The toy craze ended, but people's nostalgia eventually brought them back. As we look at the dangerous charm of clackers, their return to popularity despite safety warnings makes us wonder what other everyday items from the past had hidden dangers. Let's explore the risks and surprises of polyurethane foam in the next chapter. Polyurethane foam, especially in its early forms, was both impressive and dangerous. Dr. Otto Bayer invented it in the 1930s and became widely used during World War II. Initially a substitute for rubber, its uses expanded after the war. By the 1970s, polyurethane foam was everywhere, found in car seats, mattresses, and even baby playpens. The main risk was its flammability. The foam's low density and high air permeability made it highly flammable. A small spark, like a dropped cigarette, could ignite a sofa or mattress, leading to dangerous fires. When burned, polyurethane foam emits toxic gases, including volatile organic compounds, which could cause respiratory issues, lung damage, and irritation of the skin and eyes. Babies sleeping on mattresses made from this foam were unknowingly exposed to these harmful chemicals. Despite these risks, polyurethane foam continued to be widely used. Manufacturers improved safety by adding flame retardants and reducing VOC emissions, but it remained crucial to choose products carefully, especially for vulnerable groups like infants. Bag-O-Glass was a toy from the 1970s that completely ignored safety and common sense.
Kid, be careful, broken glass. I mean, we sell a lot of products in the Bag-O line.
Picture a child's excitement upon receiving a shiny, colorful bag labeled Bag-O-Glass. At first glance, it seemed harmless, but it was anything but. The bag was actually filled with sharp shards of glass, pretending to be a toy. It was as dangerous as it sounds, with no redeeming features, no bounce, no lights, and no satisfying crinkle. It was just sharp, breakable glass, making it both pointless and horrifying for parents. The absurdity of this toy was famously mocked by Saturday Night Live in a sketch where Dan Aykroyd portrayed Irwin Mainway, the fictional toy company president. His pitch was simply, "It's a bag with glass in it." Thankfully, Bag-O-Glass never became popular and is now remembered as a bizarre relic of poor judgment. In 1971, Gillette launched the Track 2 razor blades in the U.S. Unlike today's razors that pivot, the Track 2 had a fixed angle, which made it a step up from traditional double-edged razors by promising a closer shave. However, the design had a downside. The Track 2 was notorious for causing frequent cuts. Users, excited to try their new razor, often ended up with nicks and scrapes due to the lack of a pivoting mechanism that would have helped adjust to different angles. Despite these issues, the Track 2 blades led to important innovations. Gillette improved their designs over time, adding features like a lubricating strip in the Track 2 Plus to reduce friction and make shaving safer. In 1976, they introduced the Good News disposable razor, which borrowed from the Track 2's design, aiming to compete with Bic disposables. Today, Track 2 blades are mostly a nostalgic memory, overshadowed by modern razors. Nonetheless, Gillette revived the Track 2 in India as the 7 o'clock P2, hoping to appeal to fans of their classic designs. As we look back at the Track 2's innovative yet flawed design, it makes us question what other once dangerous products from our past have left a lasting impact, even if they had hidden dangers. Let's explore the story of mercurochrome, the antiseptic that once stained our wounds and our memories. Mercurochrome, also known as merbromin, was once a common antiseptic found in medicine cabinets worldwide. This bright red liquid was used to treat minor cuts, scrapes, and wounds. However, it had a hidden danger. It contained mercury. Discovered in 1889, the red dye merbromin quickly became known as mercurochrome. It was diluted with water or alcohol to treat small wounds, and it stained the skin a lasting carmine red. The sting of mercurochrome was a familiar experience for many, reminding users that healing could be uncomfortable. Additionally, the red or brown stains it left behind were memorable, often proudly displayed by children showing off their battle scars. The problem with mercurochrome was its mercury content, which was harmful. In 1998, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration reclassified it from generally recognized as safe to untested due to a lack of recent studies. Consequently, mercurochrome was banned in several countries, including the U.S., Switzerland, Brazil, France, Iran, Germany, and Denmark. In the early 20th century, radium was highly popular due to its glowing properties, making it a key ingredient in luminous paint. This paint made watch dials, airplane instruments, and clock faces shine with an eerie greenish-blue light in the dark. Dr. Sabin Arnold von Sakaki invented this radioluminescent plan in 1908 using radium-226, which allowed these items to be readable without external light. However, the fascination with this glowing paint hid a dangerous truth.
My first day at work, well, I thought I didn't like it because after, they learn you to put the thing in your mouth, that's the first thing they taught you.
Radium is highly radioactive. The workers who handled radium paint, mostly young women, were exposed to serious health risks. They often used their lips to shape paintbrushes, unknowingly ingesting radium and suffering from severe health issues like radiation poisoning, bone decay, and even death. The tragic cases of the radium girls led to lawsuits that revealed these dangers and prompted stricter regulations. Today, radium paint is obsolete, replaced by safer, non-radioactive glow-in-the-dark alternatives. In the 1960s, the Easy Bake Oven was a dream toy for young chefs.
Firefighters are trying to remove a recalled Easy Bake Oven that is stuck on her hand.
This miniature oven, introduced by Kenner Products in 1963, could bake small cakes and cookies. It looked like a real oven with a range on top and came in colors like pale yellow and turquoise. However, these original models had a serious flaw: faulty wiring. They used two 100-watt light bulbs for heat, one above and one below the food tray. While this was meant to ensure even baking, it sometimes caused overheating and burns. Children reaching in for their treats might get more than they bargained for with unintended heat. Fortunately, later versions improved by using just one bulb and better heating methods. Over the years, the Easy Bake Oven has evolved into various designs, from microwave styles to classic stoves, but the memory of those early models remains a part of its history. The Easy Bake Oven, with its charming design, concealed some dangerous flaws in its early models. As we reflect on these safety concerns, have you ever wondered what other hidden risks might have been lurking in everyday items? Let's explore the impact of lead-based paints and their surprising connections to toys and homes. Lead-based paints were once common in homes, children's toys, and furniture, but were banned in the U.S. in 1978 due to their harmful effects. The risk comes from the lead content, which can cause serious health issues even in small amounts. Young children, especially those under 6, are particularly at risk because lead poisoning can severely affect their mental and physical growth. Symptoms of lead poisoning include developmental delays, learning problems, irritability, and loss of appetite, and in severe cases, it can be deadly. Adults who handle batteries, do home renovations, or work in auto repair shops might also be exposed to lead. Even though lead-based paint is banned, it can still be found in older homes and apartments, posing a danger to those who may not realize it's there. The Wham-O Water Wiggle, a popular pool toy from the 1970s, seemed like a harmless way for kids to have fun. It was a 7-foot plastic hose connected to an aluminum water jet nozzle covered by a bell-shaped plastic head. When hooked up to a garden hose, it sprayed water everywhere, promising lots of fun. But it had a dangerous flaw. If the bell-shaped head came off, the exposed aluminum nozzle could become a serious hazard. In one tragic case, a child ended up with the nozzle lodged in their mouth and drowned. This incident led to the death of a 4-year-old in March of 1978. Another 3-year-old boy also died in a similar accident later that year. After these tragedies, Wham-O recalled about 2.5 million water wiggles and warned parents not to let their children use them. Today, the water wiggle serves as a stark reminder of how even seemingly safe toys can become deadly. Codeine cough syrups used to be popular for stopping coughs, but they came with serious risks.
Abuse of over-the-counter drugs containing codeine is meant to be monitored by providing your ID at pharmacies.
Codeine is an opioid, a type of drug that affects the brain's pain receptors and can lead to addiction. Regular use of codeine cough syrup could result in dependence and withdrawal symptoms. High doses of codeine also posed a risk of respiratory depression, meaning it could slow down breathing and potentially be fatal in extreme cases. Children under 18 were particularly vulnerable to severe side effects, such as breathing problems, which is why the use of codeine in children was discouraged. As people became more aware of these dangers, cough syrups were reformulated to replace codeine with safer alternatives. Nowadays, codeine cough syrup is only available by prescription due to concerns about its potential for abuse and addiction. This change aims to make cough treatment safer and reduce the risk of dependency. As we look back at the dangers of codeine cough syrup and its shift to safer alternatives, it's clear that safety often becomes a priority only after serious risks come to light. With that in mind, can seemingly harmless summer toys also hide hidden dangers? Let's explore the surprising and risky history of the slip and slide. The slip and slide, a classic summer toy, has a dangerous past.
Just unroll the Wham-O slip and slide, you glide on a thin film of water.
In 1961, Robert Carrier, an upholsterer, created it by laying out a 50-foot roll of Naugahyde, a vinyl-coated fabric, in his backyard. Kids would run and belly flop onto the wet surface, sliding around like human projectiles. The toy company Wham-O later replaced the costly Naugahyde with plastic and introduced the 30-foot-long slip and slide. However, from 1973 to 1991, there were reports of adults and 13-year-olds suffering neck injuries or even paralysis while using it. This led to safety concerns, and in 1993, Wham-O issued a recall notice advising that the slip and slide should only be used by children to prevent serious injuries. Asbestos ceiling tiles were once commonly used in homes and schools, but they carried hidden dangers.
She's putting a new floor down by herself. Asbestos tile. Easiest flooring to install, easiest flooring to care for.
These tiles contained asbestos, a mineral valued for its fire resistance and durability. Unfortunately, these same fibers that made the tiles strong also pose serious health risks. Breathing in asbestos fibers can lead to serious lung diseases like asbestosis and mesothelioma. The harm from asbestos develops slowly over time. Workers who installed or removed these tiles were at the highest risk. Microscopic asbestos fibers, when inhaled, became trapped in lung tissue, causing permanent damage. While no specific news stories highlight these issues, many lives have been affected. Today, asbestos ceiling tiles are mostly a thing of the past. By the 1970s, people became more aware of the dangers, leading to stricter regulations. Modern construction materials no longer use asbestos. However, older buildings may still have these tiles, so it's important to be cautious when renovating or demolishing them.